Hello everybody and welcome to the CGF and Beaver show, the racing edition, proudly brought to you by Betezy.com.au. I'm CGF, he's Beaver.
Yes.
It's been a beavering week.
It's been all over the Beaver.
Beaver won at the Trots,
Goulburn on Monday.
the Beaver, and Beaveroo won at Cessnock.
Oh, mate. Solid. The Beaver just, mate, he just keeps coming down the outside. I told the boys on the desk, mate, don't take any odds, any bets on the Beaver. He just keeps coming. They won't give in.
We promised you we'd do a recce from last week, and the boys basically were untouchable.
Oh, sensational, CGF.
So,
you were in great form.
Yeah, so we had 8 winners.
8 winners.
A couple of shorties. 4 each. A couple of shorties there that we both picked.
Yeah.
But I threw out their appearance. You could have got 16 to 1 about that.
How good's that?
A time for Julia, $7.
Yeah.
You had
Target Inside around the $5 mark, and Lincoln Ruby.
Lincoln Ruby, yes.
Yeah.
Proving to be a better sprinter than I gave it credit.
Yeah, so I think there was only one race that we tipped in that neither of us got the winner. And
Well, my best bet for the weekend was actually cramming, and it ran 4th.
yeah.
So, and that was the one I only had one bet.
Yeah.
And I bet cramming.
So Jeff, you're not supposed to admit to that, mate.
Yeah, I know, but I did. I was out playing golf, so, you know. Anyway, so hopefully we can continue that form. Good reason to watch the show and get the odds. We're going to look at Flemington and Roselle. We're going to look at 3 races from Flemington as we head into their part of the autumn carnival, and we're starting to see some decent horses come out and race. The first race is race 6, the CS Hayes Stakes, a Group 3 for 150k. He wasn't a bad trainer, Mr. Hayes himself.
Yes.
He was a very good man. What are you like in race 6, mate?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Hucklebuck. It's a horse I followed last preparation. I thought first up it was pretty good after a pretty torrid run. I think it looks pretty, it's well drawn and should be hard to beat in this at $3.70. I think you'll probably get around the $4 mark in what is a really open affair with a heap of chances, CGF.
Yeah. Look, I think when you look at Polanski and Criterion, I mean, obviously they're coming in, starting their campaigns.
Yep.
You never know first up though. If they're that good, they can win.
Yep.
I like San Diego, $15 from the Snowden stable, ridden by Stephen Arnold. The word is that he's now happy to be a racehorse, whereas last year he was fighting them and everything else. He's out of Exceed and Excel, though, even though he spots to a stayers. So 1,400 metres he's won over, so I'm happy to take the odds on San Diego, and we'll see how he goes in the CS Hayes Stakes.
Yep. Quarterback was a good run first up, which you've got wraps on, CGF, and Prince Arata, I'm out.
Yeah, Prince Arata, we've spent our cash
line
on that.
through, which probably means that
he wins.
He wins, but line through from Beaver and CGF, we're not getting caught on him anymore.
The next is race 7, the Black Caviar Lightning Stakes.
Never heard of that horse. CGF.
No, apparently won a few. Wasn't a bad horse.
Yeah.
1,000 metres, 500,000 readies. Talking about readies, I like Summer Ready in this. I think this is a pretty good feel. Interesting, there's a couple of 2-year-olds down the bottom there, Boomwire and Bugatti off the minimum of 46.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I see Dean Indel's booked for both of them, so that'll be an interesting ride for him. Side saddle on both of them.
No. He's Holland. Dean Holland's now booked in for...
Right. Maybe it was just my eyes tricking me.
Yeah.
I like Summer Ready. I like the $3. 9 starts, 6 wins, 1 second. When it has been beaten, it's had an excuse. Bled internally last start, Mooney Valley.
And me and you were on it.
Me and you were on it. We had plenty.
That's an excuse.
We had plenty on that night, and we couldn't pick our nose. But anyway, I like Summer Ready, fresh up. I think can win the race. What are you going for, mate?
I'm going Switzerland. I think first up down the straight, it's going to suit it. It's got a really good first up record. Got Abdullah on board who's flying at the moment, and I just think it's ready to win.
Good. I won't argue that. Another quality mare.
Yeah, it's a top field, but those two look to have it between them, Summer Ready and Switzerland. They do look the class horses of this field and probably hardest to beat.
Brings us to race 8. It's a 1,700 metre handicap. So a couple of stars, one very interesting star in this race. What do you like?
I'm going the Hickmont Nevis.
Yeah.
Don't know much about it, CGF, but its overseas form looks pretty good. I'm a fan of Hickmon. I like his horses. I don't think this is a strong field. Are there any? It's had 3 tries at this track and never done anything. If this is anywhere near a decent racehorse, which I suspect it is, I think it could give these something to beat.
Yeah, I'm with you. If you look at its 4 starts back in Ireland, it ran in the National Stakes, got beaten by Dawn Approach. Dawn Approach won 4 Group 1 races. I ran 6th of 7th of Italy, but then went to Leopardstown and won a £90,000 race. It's out of Danzelli. Staying's going to be its caper. And you're right. If it's got anything, it'll beat this lot.
Yeah,
that's really what the way I see it. I can't see there's any class in that. And some of these have been running around longer than Beaver, so we've got no chance. So I'm going to stick with Nevis. And if you get $6, I'll be amazed.
Yeah, me too.
Because I don't think you'll be getting $6. That takes us to Rose Hill, and we're looking at race 6 there, which is the New South Wales Thoroughbred Breeders' Classic over 1,200 metres. Small field, but a very, very classy one.
Yeah, top field.
After much study, I decided to go Catkins. Chris Waller, Hugh Bowman really stood up last campaign. And if you look at its form, it's going to be there or thereabouts. I think, and what swayed me a little bit was the 3.5 kilos it gets off its back from Streamer. I mean, Streamer's an absolute champion. I'm not getting away from that, but seems to take a race or 2 now to get back into his stride.
Yeah.
I think Catkins is a horse that's definitely on its way up. And I don't dismiss White Sage, and I don't dismiss Steps in Time or Streamer or Shani Rose or Dry Fontaine for that matter. I mean, it's a good race. I think White Sage is, this is the acid test.
Yep, I agree with you. I'm going Catkins as well. I really liked what it did last preparation. I think if it comes back anywhere near that with a little bit of improvement that you expect from Waller to get out of these horses, it could be the horse to beat in this race. White Sage at 7-4, I think, is unders against the likes of Streamer, Steps in Time and Catkins. It's still to beat anything of any quality in my mind. So acid test on the weekend if it's going to if form's going to stack up against this lot. So I'm going to go Catkins. Steps in Time, I just need it to show a little bit more. Didn't do much last prep, and it needs to get back to some of its best form before I back it again.
Absolutely. I'm with you. What else you got for us, mate?
What else have I got for you? I have race 3, number 312 at Rose Hill is one of my picks. And in the last race at Flemington, I like Hey Lil at around the $5 mark.
Best bet?
Best bet comes up in race 7, number 2, Janube at Rose Hill.
All right. What are we getting for that?
It's about $2.50.
$2.50. Good stuff.
And I think Nevis is going to be really hard to beat as well.
Yeah. Race 5 in Sydney, number 4, El Rocker. Trent Busutin and Hugh Bowman, $2.50. Ran a cracker in the Diamond Caulfield Prelude for the Guineas. Ran a cracker in the Guineas itself. First up at Sydney, $2.50. Really like that. But my best bet comes up in Melbourne race 4, number 13, Mandler. Price and Smith, you'll get $4 about that.
That was Beaver's best bet a couple of weeks ago. CGF, and it ran second.
Yeah, I think it's. I like it. I think it's a horse on its way up.
Yeah, it is a horse on its way up. I do like it as well, but I thought this was a really tricky field.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But I'm looking. I think it's a trickier field that it's raced in, but I think it's actually a field it can win in, and I think you'll get the odds out of it.
Yeah, you will. I think
the other one is race 5, number 4, Scratchy Bottom.
Sujuma.
In Melbourne. Yeah. Remember we backed it at Mooney Valley that night when we were donating money to the charity fund?
Yes.
When some already had its little bleeding. But so Scratchy Bottom, he won first up. I think it's a pretty useful racehorse actually.
Yep.
Again, you should be getting about $3. There's there's some good betting propositions this weekend.
Yep.
I think you're going to get a bit of value. Some of the fields are not that big, but there's 4 or 5 that can win, genuine can win.
Races, and you're getting $4 or $5
exactly.
Most of them. So you don't have to back a lot of winners to.
So we move closer to races like the Australian Guineas and things like that. We're going to see some good horses.
Blue Diamond next week.
Correct. Which will be a match race between one Rubik and one Earthquake. After seeing the replays of that, I would be on Earthquake already.
Yeah, me too.
That said, if you look at the sectionals, Rubik didn't do a thing wrong.
No.
And he had to go and he had to run his first part of his race a lot quicker.
Quicker.
So while he didn't look as impressive, he did as much work. It was just the way the Earthquake
I just don't think
kicked up.
Rubik could sit on the outside of Earthquake and go past him like Earthquake did last start, but I think Earthquake can do it to Rubik. Sit on and just put the pressure on and just power.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Rubik's just a true 1,000-metre horse.
Speedster.
Speedster.
Yeah,
Whereas
well,
I think Earthquake could go 1,600 metres even at this stage of his career.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll talk about that next week's show. It should be a fascinating a race, and we'll see what the odds are. Anything else to add, mate?
No, that's it, mates. I'm pretty happy with the way we're travelling now. We're back on the gravy train, and there's winners galore for the punters out there now.
Absolutely. Go to betezy.com.au, have a look at all the products that we've got there. Bet responsibly. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you next weekend. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Ciao.